So, how can we help folks stop, reduce, halt impulse spending?
I just say, before you consider buying something, look and see how much of that thing you have already.
Mm. Woo.
Like, like really take stock. And if you're going to bring something new into your household, it needs to be replacing something that's old or maybe I know we've transitioned like furniture, but it's one for one. If one's coming in, one's going out.
Welcome. This is For Better and Worth.
The podcast where we don't believe you have to sacrifice your relationship while you grow and build your net worth.
We are your hosts.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Ericka Young. And we're so glad you're joining us today.
All right, y'all, let's get into it.
Hey, honey. How are you?
I am doing great.
I'm doing good, too.
Good. Good is a good place to be.
So, we had a little bike ride this morning.
We sure did.
And I felt good. It was nice. It was...
Yeah, it's nice to get out in the morning on weekends and kind of just go for a bike ride.
Yeah. We went for a bike ride last week, and I feel like it was a little tragic because we were so worn out. We went when it was way too hot. This time we got up early.
I don't know if it was so much like the actual ride as the time, and it was hot and the heat just drains you, When you're out riding, it's the height of the morning, and you're like, dang, man, I didn't realize how warm it was. And I don't think we hadn't eaten much. So it was good, though, overall, like riding my bike.
Yeah, so that was fun. So now I feel a little energized. I'm pretty sure I'll crash later. I'm pretty sure I'm a crash later, but it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. We got it in. We got it in today.
But my office is located in our house where I see all the delivery people that come back and forth to the house.
To our house?
Yeah, to our house.
Dang, I don't want my office up there, but I wish you wouldn't look all the time.
Yeah, because I'd be like, man, I ain't order no packages.
Now, when you were gone, some packages came for you.
Yes, because we are in the midst of a reno, and it was a part for the renovation.
But it doesn't matter. It was still something.
No, don't try. Every package that come here, it's like very few that are mine.
Sometimes the stuff that I have ordered. Okay, anyway, yes, but sometimes the stuff that I have ordered is like protein. You take part in that.
Yep.
Sometimes it's
that one package, that one box with protein in it is the one I took part of. But what about the other 10?
You know what? We do not get 10 boxes. Okay.
At once.
Now, you know
what?
Week? I'm going to put it out there. Our neighbor was out of town for a week, and she wanted us to pick up her boxes.
And usually it's like,
house.
Oh yeah, no problem.
No big deal.
Go grab it.
When she came back from that vacation, I said, "Girl, you need a wheelbarrow." Because they had a package every day, and it wasn't little packages.
I was like, I might have to start charging you storage fees. But it was just funny. And considering that Prime Day recently happened and people went bananas.
So, last year I was prepared for Prime Day. I don't know why I was so excited about participating. I think it was good marketing. Okay. Because I thought I was going to get better deals, and they make it look like, you're going to get better deals and all the things. They make you spend your money. Now,
not so much now.
I was prepared. And so there were certain things that we were going to use and blah, blah, blah. Mostly needs, some wants. And I didn't spend that much money. I think it was like $100. I mean, it wasn't like a huge deal. However, this year we spent the United States of America.
Not Chris and Ericka.
No. People spent $24 billion on Prime Day.
That's crazy.
And I noticed something distinctly different because Prime Day is not one day. Prime Day is 2 days. This is the first time I noticed it was 4. They doubled it. Because typically they'll do a Prime Day right before Christmas, and then they'll do it in the summertime, probably because back to school, etc., etc. So, so they had $24 billion spent,
Mm, mm,
which
mm.
is wild, and this was twice what was spent on Black Friday last year.
I think it's funny. Like, I remember there was a time when I never went on Amazon like looking for things, and people would say, "Yeah, Amazon has it all." I was like, "Well, what do they have?" Oh, everything. And I would go in there and feel like I was walking around the store lost.
Yes.
Because sometimes you go in the store, you like, man, I don't know what I'm looking for or where it's at, and you just feel lost. That's how I first used to feel with Amazon.
Well, Amazon started with just books.
I know, but
Amazon books.
I'm saying beyond, like, once they got beyond
Yeah.
books and you could
Yeah.
buy like all types of stuff,
But
I
I
was
feel
like,
like
I just felt lost.
the perception took a while to change.
Yeah.
And I think you and I are old school.
Yeah, but I'm saying even like now, when I want to buy something, if I'm in a store and they have it physically at the store and I can buy it, I say, oh, let me check the price on Amazon first.
Mm-hmm.
Because now it becomes my comparator.
Right.
Like, what is it priced at on Amazon for the exact same thing that I can get right here,
Yeah.
IRL,
Mm-hmm.
and I can walk away with it, or I can have it show up in my house tomorrow based upon if the price is better.
Yeah.
And so even my behavior has changed with Amazon. And I think I bought one thing during Amazon Prime Day because something had been in my cart and it had just stayed in my cart. And when I went to buy the part that we needed for the reno, I said, oh, yeah, well, this thing is on sale. I was like, oh, I'll throw it in my cart. I'll just go on and get it. Got it, and I was like, oh, this is not what I expected. So I'm going to return it.
Oh, yeah.
But it was just, I don't know, just the ease or the convenience of doing it. And I think it can really get people in trouble. And I will hear you say how, like, just, on the podcast, how people actually have an Amazon budget.
Yeah.
And when you think about all the things that you could purchase on Amazon, it's like, okay, I'm starting to understand more broadly how easily people can, kind of get into that trap and why 24 billion, which is more than we spent on Black Friday.
Twice as much.
Yeah, it's like that's just crazy.
It is nuts. And my client, there was a client, I don't know who it was, but years ago, they had subscriptions set up on Amazon. And I was like, oh, wow, I didn't know you could do that. And now I have subscriptions set up on Amazon, the things that I know I can't get elsewhere. Case in point, our protein, haven't been able to find it elsewhere. There's this one specific
That's
one
true.
that I like.
That's true.
And so I have it on repeat because I'll get whatever, 15% off or whatever. For a while there, I was getting like our soap, our bar soap that we like because it's hard to find in certain places. So
I know
my vitamins.
People are laughing like, well, what kind of protein or soap is that hard to find?
But the thing is that the other thing is I am not about to go to 5 stores to search something out. I typically go to 3 stores and that is all. And I'm not about to go all around town trying to find a thing.
Meaning 3 stores that you regularly, patronize.
For household goods, food,
right.
those
Not
kinds of
you
things.
going to 3 stores. I had to just clarify for people so they didn't think like you just going from store to store to store looking for things. No, there's 3 places we tend to shop at for those types of household items. But
yeah, and so I started a subscription for the things that the basic things. There's probably like 5 or 6 things throughout the year that I just want to get on repeat. One, for instance, is like our garbage bags, right? That are pretty specific. And that just makes it easy. We know every 6 months it's going to send it to us. But the point is that Prime Day, I did not necessarily participate this year. Like I wasn't looking to see what did I want to get. I didn't do all that.
What deals are out there?
I didn't do that. However, other retailers, in fact, they said this is our Prime Day. So DSW got me. So I bought some shoes for 25% off because they were capitalizing on, they were like, okay, so
They're like, oh, everybody out here spending, come
yep.
on over here, spend some
Yes,
money
come
with
get
us.
this today from our store. And that happened in a couple of different places where I typically might shop. And so I was like, I might not have spent on Amazon, but I spent somewhere
But I
else.
think you're setting up what I want to say right there, because people find ways to somehow make these things that they may have just wanted, now I need it because, oh, I can get it for 25% off, or, they say that girl math.
Oh my
Like,
gosh. I hate that. You know why? Because why can't we give women more credit? First of all, we're women, not girls. But second of all, why can't we give ourselves and why can't others give us more credit? Why does it have to be girl math? Why can't it be
right,
man math?
look,
Like,
look,
like
you saved this much, so you didn't spend. But I just think the whole point behind my statement is, these things that were once wants now become needs, and people find a way to transition the category over very easily. And, we know that we budget, and I have, what I call my play money, and I do whatever I want with that particular money. But what I tend to do is not spend it.
yeah. You're not a shopper. Let's
I
be
know
very
I
clear.
tend to hold on to it until I'm like, okay, this is the thing that I've been wanting, or this is the thing that I've been needing. And then I'll just take it, and I tend to buy larger ticket items, so I save the money up over time. But I don't know, I'm just very conscientious of how I spend money. And like you said, I'm not the biggest shopper
I
in
don't
general.
I don't think you have to be conscientious of your spending when you just don't care. You're not a shopper. So
Yeah.
so my thing is I don't feel like you go
I need to
that
shop
deep.
a little bit more.
I don't think you go that deep to where I need this or want this. You just don't shop like that. So
Yeah.
you don't have to go to do I need it or do I want it. Now, when that's the other part of it though, is you could might maybe go 3 or 4 months and not really buy much of anything. But when you do buy something, it's a heavy hitter, which is why you need to be saving your money.
Right,
Because
because I'm a heavy hitter.
and you be ready. You're like, okay, I'm going to buy a suit right now. And I'd be like, what? And I know how much your suits cost. Or like the one time, you remember this? When you bought your bike,
Oh, yeah.
2 days before, you like, I'm going to buy a bike. And I was like,
Like,
okay.
really?
And I was like, how much is it going to cost? And you told me how much. I was like, what?
Don't
It was
worry
like right
about it.
around Christmas
Don't
time.
worry about it. I
And
got
was
it.
like, why are you doing this right now?
I got
In
it.
my mind.
Don't worry about it.
Because you had set money aside. Now, I don't know. I don't think you had set all of it aside, but it was a fraction.
But I had already in my mind figured out how the purchase was going to happen.
Which is why you have to share that. You cannot assume. I understand. I think,
I'm strategic in my, my spending.
You
I
are.
apply strategery.
You know what? That's not a word, babe.
But you know what it means.
Anyway, so but so this is why communication is so important.
Yes.
Because there is, so one of the things that I said to you, because we have a couple of trips, some things happening, and I'm like, I want to feel confident in a swimsuit. And I said, babe, and I looked you in your eyes. I said,
Yeah.
babe, I have bought, or I am
You
buying.
said, babe, I got 20 swimsuits coming.
I did not say 20.
So just be aware. I was like,
Don't
what?
lie on me on the air.
Oh, you didn't say 20.
Well, how many did I say, babe?
10?
I did not say 10 because I did not order 10 swimsuits. How many did I order? You don't even know.
Order?
See,
you said,
see, you just be
6.
inflating it. You just be inflating.
You said
it.
6.
But I was like, just know, half of these are at least half of these are going back. But I wanted to feel.
Yeah, you had to try them out and get the ones that you like. I understand.
So when you're in the window, when you're sitting in your office and you're looking out the window and you
I'm
see
prepared for those.
That's right. When you see it coming, I don't need you telling me what are all these packages doing coming. I done told you.
Well,
okay?
look, when I go to the door, I'm like, I know it ain't mine, so I pick it up and I take it right over to your office and leave it on your desk. Cause
I didn't used to shop like that either. Like I used to just be like,
no,
I'm gonna get 2 swimsuits and that's gonna be that. And I would never really like compare. And now I'm like, oh, let me get 3 items and figure out which ones I
you
really
know what?
want.
I think the nature of shopping and merchandising has
It
changed
has.
because you can buy 6, try them on at home, decide which ones you want, and
Yeah,
send it back.
you can.
So I think the nature of shopping has changed, and I think it's going to continue to change because when you start to talk about AI and they're going to start applying AI to probably how we purchase, it's already, I'm sure, being applied, but you could probably have a visual measurement and stuff like
I
that.
saw that recently. I saw
I'm
that
sure.
AI can scan your body and
Yep.
take your measurements.
Yep. And then they will apply like, well, based on your measurements and have the stats of whatever item you're buying, and they'll tell you what size to get because we know a medium, a large, extra large, they are not all equal.
They're not. And AI, because I was looking at that, if I do a search on Amazon or online or whatever, if I'm looking on Instagram, now I'm getting ads
Oh my God. All you gotta
from
do is
different
click on
places.
anything or
And now it's like, oh
search it.
yeah.
Yeah, now
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's part of why Prime Day was so successful.
Yeah.
Because we are in the scroll generation.
Mm-hmm.
If you search it on Google, Google we know has back end AI already applied to it. So then you go to you go to Instagram or you go to Facebook, whatever social media you go to, they're owned by the same companies.
Mm-hmm.
They have algorithms built into it. So now not only are you searching with a vehicle, but then you go to one of the social platforms and you see those same ads
Mm-hmm.
coming up there. So it's like you get it from all sides.
You
And so
do.
I'm not surprised that people are like, oh, I forgot about that. Or, oh, I did want that.
Mm-hmm.
And then boom, it ends up in your cart.
And I think that, I mean, Amazon has changed the game quite a bit. Amazon has changed the game. And the fact that that amount of money was spent is insane to me. But the other thing is that
That's the that's
marketing.
the that's the GDP of some small countries.
It is. And so the thing is that concerns me about the spending habits, shopping, the marketing tactics that these companies have is when it takes you off your goal, whatever your goal is, when it causes you to overspend, when it interferes in the relationship.
Yeah.
See, we can laugh because we're in a place where even if I overspent by $100,
Right.
which
It's
that
cool.
happens,
It's cool.
but it's fine. Like we can communicate. There was a point some years back when I said, babe, I'm actually having fun shopping and I just kind of need to like know what my limit is on shopping. I did. And I was honest because I was
Yeah.
like, I need accountability, one, but two, and it's not like I was like astronomically, spending a bunch of money, but I felt like I needed a boundary or to increase the boundary and to feel like when you and I talked about our spending, our budget, and that kind of thing, and we saw numbers that we were on the same page,
Right.
and I wasn't out of the realm of
But I
reality.
think that's why it works because we still have conversations and communicate about that. Like the
Mm-hmm.
fact that you came to me and said, "Hey, I'm enjoying this and I need a little bit, of more wiggle room. Do we have the capability to do that?" And we talked about it and then we maybe reset what those boundaries look like because
Mm-hmm.
there was a point in time when you would call me if it was like over a certain amount that you
Yeah.
wanted to spend.
And I still don't go over like when I'm buying something, I'm never at the store and I spend $200 and you don't know. I don't do that.
It's
I
so
really
funny
don't.
though. It's so funny. I hear you say that, and people probably laugh. They probably spent $200 like they blew their nose and threw a piece of tissue away.
I have a threshold. I think we all have a threshold,
I
but some
know,
people's is bigger. And for me, I'm like, some things makes me feel uncomfortable, and so I'm not like I'm just not a big spender.
man. You know what? you know what? This is telling me I chose right.
Come on now, say it again.
I chose right.
Say it for the people in the back.
Not only because you don't, go crazy with your spending, but you just keep revealing reasons why I chose right.
Aw, thank you, babe.
Because you're not trying to, have me out here working 1,000 hours. I mean, you work too. You
Yeah.
generate income. But we in the team. We on the same team.
Hey, and you know what? On the flip side of that, I chose right because you helped me like elevate. You know what I mean? Because you have always been a great dresser. You have always taken great pride in your appearance. And not that I never did, but I just
This one I needed the Drake track elevate, elevate.
but you did. Like I feel like there were times when you would be like, why are you wearing that? You might not have said it like that, but
That's what you heard.
I remember when we first got married and we went, was it to Macy's? We went to Macy's to get me like a career wardrobe.
Right.
And you had, and it seemed like a lot of money at the time. You were like, okay, we got $300 to spend. We're gonna get you some outfits and blah blah blah. And I thought it was so much money, first of all, because I was cheap. I honestly bought cheap stuff. I used to buy cheap. There were,
Well, look, I can't have my wife
listen,
walking around here looking like, boo boo the fool.
how did I know you was gonna say that?
Because that's a 50-year-old
So
euphemism.
right. So, but you took me and I was and then you sat there and you just watched me put on all the different clothes. And then I had over a week's worth of outfits that I can mix and match throughout
Yeah,
the
you
week.
go to work and feel
And
good and look good.
right. And that did a lot for me. And now I still don't have super expensive taste, but
But
like
I'm always of the mindset that look good,
right.
feel good, perform good, perform good. It's all good.
But yes, and I feel like you can still do that without spending a whole bunch of money.
Yeah, there's a
Right.
lot of ways to do it.
And like this summer, I bought a couple pair of shorts, and I'm like, why are shorts $50? Why am I spending $60 on a pair of shorts? Like, is that what the going rate is? Like some
Ericka,
of this is mind
I think
shifts.
people would listen to how. I mean, we do a lot of different things. I mean, I buy a lot of tennis shoes, and
You do.
I have certain things I spend a lot of money on.
So what do you think people would think?
I mean, I spend a lot of money on a lot of stuff. But I think people would probably be like, man, y'all pretty frugal in certain areas of life.
There are certain things that you are not frugal. I'm frugal. You just don't want to spend money on certain stuff.
Yeah,
You will spend money on certain things, but other things,
yeah, I'd be
no.
like, why? I'd be like, why that cost that? I'm not buying that.
You say that
That
all the
is
time at the
stupid.
grocery store.
Be like, when did this start costing this? I'm not hungry.
Yep, I'm going on a fast.
Be like, I don't even want to eat this no more. I'm buying something different.
So
Inflation turns me off.
So here's the deal. When it concerns shopping, I feel like we should help people with guidelines around either needs and wants or how to do it so that they are flowing in one accord as a team.
Well, I think a lot of people have to do what we have chosen to do, and that's talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, set spending limits and limitations, because if you don't have any boundaries or guardrails in any part of your life, you can get out of whack. And every facet of life, you have to have some parameters that you work within. You can't just go out and do whatever you want whenever you want, and that's just childish.
You can't
If you act that way and have that type of behavior.
Absolutely. And you will get nowhere fast. So if we're talking about your goals, there are many goals, but let's just say, you got an emergency fund goal, you're trying to get out of debt, you're trying to pay off your house, you're trying to have money to save for retirement, you're trying to go on a trip, you're trying to buy a house, whatever it is. There's so many different goals out there. And if you are not intentional with your dollars and your spending, it can derail your progress on those goals.
Let's be honest, okay? People have way more stuff than they need.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what $24 billion
Yeah.
worth of stuff from Amazon could possibly look like.
It is mind blowing.
If we were to go back and be able to see what everybody bought and what that $24 billion of stuff looked like, we would be flabbergasted, I'm sure. Because I think about how, every year we try and clean our closets out. We'll go back and look.
Are you about to talk about what I think you're about to talk about?
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
But we'll clean our closets out and we go and we'll say, well, I haven't worn this in a year or two, but it's just been hanging here. It's taking up space. And so I've taken stuff out of my closet and now I look in our room, we got a trash bag like the size of a small person full of stuff that I have not even looked back and thought about.
Yes.
Like, where's that sweatshirt or where's those pants or whatever? Because we got more stuff
Yeah.
than we possibly need. And I have more stuff I can probably get rid of.
Okay, so that bag is leaving. We're donating it this week.
Good. Because if I see that bag sitting there
I know.
one more day.
I keep saying I'm going to do it, but it's so big. It really is. It's so big.
You know what? I'm just going to take it downstairs.
Okay. Put it in my car.
And get us prepared
Put it in
to
my car.
donate it.
Yes. Yes.
And I just think about, like, as we go around the house and we've been, doing projects and you got to, like, clear stuff out to get things done. I'd be like, man, we got a lot of stuff that we can get rid of. And I guess I'm becoming more of a minimalist. I can't say that because that's not true.
Your closet
That's
is not the
true.
definition of minimalist.
Right. I just said it's not true. But I stopped buying, shoes and stuff because I don't even have any place to put them. So I was like, well, okay, if something comes in, something's got to go out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people have to put in place just like, that's a guardrail for me.
Yeah.
If I'm going to bring something new in, then something old has to go out. So it's like I'm replacing one for one. I'm not just adding on and piling on and creating a bigger and bigger and bigger pile. Because now I have a picture in my mind, $24 billion worth of stuff.
Mm.
Like, we don't have $24 billion worth of stuff here, but
we have thousands and thousands of dollars worth of stuff in this house.
Right.
So I appreciate that you said that because I did that. I did that. I actually purchased some shoes from DSW and I looked and I said, wow, I don't wear these other shoes. These have not been worn or they've been worn once in the last year. Let me take them out. And so because I don't need that, right? So let's get rid of some stuff. I think that's a really good practice.
I know a lot of sneaker heads out there. They have shoes that are, the older versions of old release shoes. And they'll pull the shoe out and then they'll want to wear it. And they pick it up and the sole falls apart.
Oh, Lord.
Because you've had it for so long and it's been in a box and you haven't worn it. That's why I don't have anything that I can't wear. If I own it, it's getting worn at some point. And if it's not getting worn, then I'm going to start cycling it out so I can cycle something in that I can actually utilize. And I think that's where people have to start thinking about, like, wants and needs. It's okay to have wants, but needs should always come first. And then wants, you apply those as your ability increases. But I think even when your ability increases, people can and have the tendency to go overboard.
Yeah. So let's talk about ways to help folks reduce impulse spending. Because ultimately, we're talking about this because we want to bring to light a potential area where you can make some improvements so that you can reach your goals, whatever your goals are. So I
got to share this.
Okay, go ahead.
I got to share this. I remember we had a friend. Well, they're still our friend. And they were in a career that he was making a really good income. He's making, probably a couple $100,000 a year. And he had a family, lived in a nice area, and, they were good. And he wanted to change careers and he wanted to do something different. and that career change was not going to pay him the same thing. And he was passionate about doing that. And so they had to literally shift a lot of things in their life. They had to get a different house. And fortunately, they inherited a home and they had some funds and money that they could actually, renovate the home and make it livable for them and their family. And it was a nice home. It had some land with it. But I've watched over the years how they have bought cars that were older or just vacationed differently, just shifted what they were doing to go and live the life that they wanted to live because they said yes to the bigger things and they weren't driven by the stuff. That a lot of stuff is just a trap, I think.
Yeah.
It's the trappings of stuff that make you feel good about who you are or give you some sort of status or whatever. Because if you take all the stuff away, we're all just people. But, I was watching something about to get a Birkin bag, you got to spend like so much money on other Birkin stuff and be invited to come and
Oh
spend,
goodness.
40, 50,000, $100,000 on the bag. Like, first of all, I don't know who spend that kind of money on nobody I know
Yeah.
spends that kind of money on stuff. That's like super rich stuff.
I don't get into status. I think that's why I'm not
Yes.
into, I don't feel guilt about my purchases because frankly, I've been hemming and hawing about getting another Coach bag that I ain't
Right.
bought in almost a daggone year. So
Right. You will him and haw about paying retail for a Coach bag when people we'll go to the mall and we'll see people standing in line to get into the Louis Vuitton store. I'm like, well, have at it. I guess if that's what you want to do.
you hit a lick on the wife who is not gonna spend a bunch of money. You hit a lick.
Exactly. I know how to choose them.
Is that what you were looking for when we were 20 and 22?
No, it was an added benefit, added bonus. So
You were like, "Ooh, I get her at a discount."
yeah, you've paid off over the years.
Praise the Lord, hallelujah. So, how can we help folks stop, reduce, halt impulse spending?
I just say, before you consider buying something, look and see how much of that thing you have already.
Woo.
Like really take stock. And if you're going to bring something new into your household, it needs to be replacing something that's old or maybe I know we've transitioned like furniture, but it's one for one. If one's coming in, one's going out.
But we've also sold stuff and we're getting ready
Yes.
to sell some other larger ticket items. So, I think that's the other thing is when it leaves, it doesn't have to leave for no income into your house.
Right.
You can sell
I'm
it.
always about trying to sell some stuff and make some money off of it. If I've taken care of something and it was quality and value when I initially purchased it, then I feel like I should be in a position to recoup some of the funds that I just put out to replace it.
Yeah.
So I think that's what you have to, consider quality over quantity. Maybe you buy less. You buy one of something versus three of something. And that's why I say consider like what you're going to replace before you go and you do something. But what about you? What would you say people should do?
Well, to reduce impulse spending, I think the biggest thing that I employ almost every time I make a purchase is the 24-hour rule. Just wait 24 hours and see is it really a need and if you really want it still. Sometimes I have found, even just last week, there was something that I was looking at purchasing and it was a good deal. It was like tempting because it was cute and it was also a good deal. And then I waited 2 days and I was like, I don't actually want that. And I could have said yes 2 days prior. So to sleep on it is, I think, important. And then the other thing that I'll say is just opt out. Like there's about every couple months, I go into my email or promotions, stop
That's actually
notifications,
good. Unsubscribe.
unsubscribe from stuff, and just a clean slate. And so periodically we have to do that because what was relevant 3 months ago probably isn't relevant today, and it could be enticing you for stuff that you don't even
I've been
need.
trying to unenroll from a text notification I've been getting. I'm like,
Really?
need to figure that one out because I'm like, stop. I'm not buying your product anymore.
I mean, once they have your information, they just go after you.
I know. It's like, okay, I bought something before, but I'm not interested now. When my interest resurfaces, I will come back.
Yeah, I'll let you know. But until then, peace out.
Right. Right. But I guess sometimes people have to just decide what's the most important thing.
Yeah.
My saying is people major on the minors.
Right.
They make big deals about little stuff when you need to focus on the big things that really matter.
Right.
And in this money and relationship thing, I'd rather us be on the same page than for your packages to become a point of contention.
That's a good point. I had this visual of a jar and you put in the big marbles first, and those are your goals and paying off debt and future retirement savings, that kind of stuff. And then when you might have smaller pebbles that go in there, but the sand is really these Amazon purchases or
Fills in the cracks.
the fun, cute outfits or the electronics or whatever it is that you're buying that isn't a need. The sand kind of fills in the cracks. So don't make the sand be first, and then you don't have any room for the most important stuff. So I'm gonna say that's my make it worth it.
That's good.
Because when you said the big stuff, I was imagining the big marbles going into the jar, and we don't want the sand to get in the way of that.
That's good. I'm going to leave it there because I think that's we've all seen that visual depiction and what it looks like. And when you fit the big things in, the things that matter, you can actually fit more in.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to leave it there.
That's good. That's good. Well, hopefully in the time after Amazon Prime Day, people are recovering. And if you've done too much, send that junk back. How about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, honey, this is good.
Well, hey, yep. Well, until next time,
we're out.
Thank you for spending some of your time with us today.
We appreciate all of your support. So be sure to subscribe, rate, and review us wherever you listen to this podcast.
You can find us on Instagram at For Better and Worth.
And sign up to receive our free guide, The 7 Reasons Your Money Relationship Isn't Working with Your Partner, on ForBetterAndWorth.com.
Until next time, we're out of here.